So, warm welcome to Sri Lanka, Dr. Moana. So, shall we get started with the introduction? So, could you please introduce yourself to us?
Oh, sure. I'm Dr. Mohanalakshmi, as you mentioned. I'm the founder and managing director of the American World School, the physical school present in Chennai. And we also provide American high schools diploma worldwide at the moment. We are represented about 7 countries where students are enrolling with us to receive their American high school diploma. The one important thing about American World School is this is the Asia's first entrepreneurial school where every learner at our campus, when you walk into the campus, the school itself is designed in the futuristic education way. We don't call ourselves a school of today or school of past, we're a school of future. Everything we do at our campus is carefully designed in such a way it creates the best educational learning experience for every learner at the campus. So we consciously redesigned many of the aspects a regular school will have to make sure the learner gets the maximum and everything is designed around the learner. Even from the specific design of the campus to the learning and furnitures and every aspect of the campus is carefully discussed and designed with students. Is not by an architect or an interior designer. It was done with the students and we have a very strong student agency built at American World School. Apart from American World School, I'm also serving as the Associate Executive Director of the American International Accreditation Association of Schools and Colleges from New York, and I'm the Joint Global Director of the IAVASC Joint Accreditation. WASC is the Western Association of Schools and Colleges, who is the world's second largest accreditor appointed by the US State Department of Education. So, while I'm representing this two organizations, I go across the world to accredit schools and tell them to see what they do and how they do and what they have to improve. Because accreditation is all about continuous improvement. We don't go as quality check department to go say, oh, this is wrong, this is right. But instead, we work with the school to see what they're doing right and where they could improve. And we bring all the resources and expertise to make the school progress much better. Because for us, everything is students. Student and the learner's outcome is the very important aspect. And we help the schools build their vision and mission because that's the concrete basement and foundation for any school. Because majority of the schools, when I see the regular schools, what do they think is if they have a building and if they have a license, if they buy a textbook, they can run a school and hire teachers. That's not the aspect. Every school needs to design their unique vision and mission that the school needs to design to deliver to the community and what their country needs, what their community needs, and what their learners lack. And it needs to be carefully designed, and everything around the school needs to be built on the vision and mission. And that's what, as accreditors, we do, and that's my major driving force in nurturing the educators themselves, so that through the educators we touch every lives of the learners. So those are the two things I do as a predominant thing. And now, from the initial journey of my entering my debut into education domain, which I created Kids Uni. From there, we developed almost 80 plus pathways for children to experience different learning opportunities and experiences different domains. So we put together, created Kids Uni today, world's first university experience for kids, and that's also now accredited by the Western Association of Schools and Colleges. So it gives what we teach is right and age appropriate, and it is valid worldwide. So we wanted to make sure whatever we create for the student is well checked by the experts and vetted before we even bring it to the market. So that way we've secured everything because these are not 1 day, 2 day work. It's been a decade of research making sure every learner gets the potential outcome done while they're at school, not after they complete the school, go to university and discover, oh, this is what I want to do. Instead, if they can discover that early on, their growth could be set in a right pathway and it can go at their own pace. So that's what I do.
Right, okay. So, thank you for sharing that. And so, if we move on to the teaching methodologies, what do you think, which would be the best way to teach the students in a country like Sri Lanka to bridge that gap that they have?
Wow, that's definitely need of the hour. Thanks for bringing that up. As I travel across the world, meeting teachers, students, and education leaders who are running the schools, I've checked and vetted and practiced many teaching methodologies. But the one important element I see is using design thinking for learning and teaching. That's the latest discovery I've done. It was introduced by Stanford and now adopted by many, many universities. Of course, still in research phase with universities. And I think at American World School, we've already thoroughly implemented the design thinking for teaching and learning because it's not about the textbook. It's not about what is there in the textbook, how you want to teach the textbook. It's all about your learner, who your learner is, what's their pace is, what's their interest, what's their level of understanding, where they already have gaps. That's what your focus should be, and then your objective, your learning outcome comes in the next place. So it also plays a major role of the learning environment itself. It's the learner, the learning environment, and then only the learning experience is created. So once you identify who your learners are, what they need, and then your learning objective is designed based on your learning objective, the learning environment is set. Right? If you come to our school, every day the classroom looks different. When the student walks in, they're like, wow, ma'am, what are we having today? Setting their mindset. Because today something is different, so they're super excited. I think now we've experienced that in IBE because we've set up this 3 days workshop experience for them. We rearranged the entire classroom. As soon as they come, it's not their regular classroom. They're super excited. So we get their attention. We get their best self in that moment. So we're able to capture and teach and drive them very, very well. That's one of the important aspects. The other thing is mastery-based learning. That's of course very old practice, but I think that's the best way to teach any learner. Because then there's no comparison between other child and me. Let's say we both are in same classroom. We're learning same concept. You might have a natural ability to do math very well, where it only takes you 30 minutes to complete a problem. Wherein I'm not very good at math, then I take 3 days to solve the same problem. So in that scenario, I don't have to wait. No, I don't have to go at your pace. At the same time, you don't have to wait for me to complete learning. So we all go at our own paces. Let's say you're good at math, you're moving forward. I am good at science, I'm moving forward in science much faster than my math, but we both are progressing. Mastery based learning identifies all your learning gaps and helps you move in your own pace. But when it comes to progress, your progress is compared with your last week, and my progress is compared with my last week. Instead of comparing both of our reports together, because it's unfair. Let's say we both are grown adults today. If we both compare ourselves, we'll say it's not fair. She had that opportunity, I had this opportunity. How it's no fair to compare us? Then how are we doing that to children? Right? They come from different family background, different financial background, different abilities, different scenarios. So how are we comparing themselves? So it needs to be changed. As educator, that's the one important request I would ask to make sure we're not comparing any students and we're giving them the freedom to grow at their own pace. So mastery-based learning and design thinking for learning and teaching is the ideal tools I think to start for Sri Lanka because that's what we have done very, very well. And it really helped the learners and their families. It just didn't help the learners. Even when families see their children progressing, there's no pressure for them to compare with other children and other families. That gives a lot of peace, mental peace. They're very happily growing as a family. Moving forward, they know this is my child's difficulty, this is where she struggles, and she's moving forward. Right? That's the ultimate scenario as educators, I think we should be focusing and doing.
Thank you very much, Dr. Moana. Thank you very much for those insights that you have given us. And also a big thank you for visiting IBE and launching uh, this project for Sri Lanka. And yeah, we hope to work with you.
Thank you so much. I'm equally excited to see both of our teams working together, creating more impacts in Sri Lanka.